I know for me, you see, you know me, I'll never talk politics. I don't talk religion. I don't
Right.
talk, you know what I mean? I just don't get into those things because first of all, you're going to alienate 50% of the world.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am not very, passionate about those topics, but if I were, I still wouldn't
No.
talk about them. And people surprise me of what they will say and what they won't say, because I mean, you think you've got free speech, and in a way you
Well,
don't.
I think one of the things that we've never discussed in this forum is the use of self-filtering,
Yeah.
because a lot of people think that, well, here I have a camera, I can go say anything I want. And
Well,
it's
it
like,
works for some people. I mean, some of them are dropping the F-bomb every minute, and people want to watch that stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, there
I
is an
know.
audience for everything, is my point. You know what I mean?
I said to one of the guys that always appeared with me on national television that the kinds of things that he said many times on all of these shows, I couldn't get away with as a female, because he
Oh,
was a rough and tumble cop
yeah.
guy, and he could say whatever he wanted to say. I said, we were sitting and talking at some big bar, some big media event, and I said, the stuff that you get away with and can talk about, I couldn't even try to do. And he looked at me like, really? I said, really? I know what I can and can't get away with. And being my friend, that I go for something that's controversial
Oh, yeah.
enough to get people to pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Uh-huh.
course.
Uh-huh.
But in reality, I can't
You
get
draw a
away,
line.
or
Yeah, you draw a line.
we can't get away with things that are going to be so incendiary. Then they're going to look at us as, how could a woman speak like this?
Well, do you think we've gotten too sensitive? There was a
Yes,
guy who interviewed us recently.
yes,
I don't know if you saw on LinkedIn. He posted that he had an event coming up, and he just happened to be interviewing, I think, either 2 or 3 men, and he had his picture with the other 2 or 3, and they happened to be white men. And this guy interviewed me. He's interviewed you. He's interviewed me and my other co-author, Maya. He interviews
right.
all kinds of people, black, white,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
and
Yeah.
yeah, he's very not a white male only kind of guy at all. But this
Right.
particular picture happened to only have 3 white men for this one event thing. It wasn't even an event. It's this kind of thing. They're on a video chat kind of thing. And there are so many women that got on there and just tore them a new one for where, you don't have diversity. You don't, and it wasn't like a big event where you've got 20 people and they're all white guys. It was
Right,
just a discussion like this. Like we don't
right,
have any black men on this panel because it's just this right now, right?
right,
But if you
right.
look at my show, I got plenty of diversity every day, right?
That you do.
So people are taking things out of context now and assuming the worst about people in a way. And it's hard when you're in the public eye.
I was just going to say that. We
Yeah.
are in the public eye, and everybody can say everything that they want, they think. And it's really kind of grossing people out. One star after another star after another star has pulled their account off Instagram or Twitter, or, I mean, you
Mhm.
read about this all the time, because they are sick of the trolls
Mhm.
saying things to them that are so unprofessional
Mhm.
and so put down
Yeah.
and so negative. Who
Yeah.
wants to be around that?
It's hard. I, it's a really strange time to be in all of it.
Doing what we're doing.
Glad I had my kids when I did, because imagine raising kids now, how hard it would be with all the pressure that what they can say and what they can't say, and it's all
You
online.
know,
It's all
I truly worry about this. I have triplet nieces. They're now 10 years old, and their mom was just saying to me that they've gotten a little mouthy
Mhm.
at this age already. And
Mhm.
this is before the hormones really kick in.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I worry about them. I just worry about them.
Yeah,
When I was on television, when I had first started on television, my little niece, who now is a mom herself,
mhm.
but she was a little girl then, and she said, "Oh, Aunt Gilda, I wrote a song. Could you please show this to Oprah?" I said, "What?" And this was all that she knew, and very innocently she wanted me to show her song to the people that I might know.
That's
But
Can you show this
today,
video to Oprah then?
no,
No? Okay.
no, no. But even if she had said, "Would you send this? Would you send this to
Uh-huh.
um, Blake Shelton?"
Ah,
I said, "Oh, really?"
that's funny. Well,
But
it's
you know,
tough.
the kids today think that they could say anything, and I have taken so many little girls under my wing when they're in tears because somebody wrote something that was so nasty online to them, and they said, "But he said this," and I said, "How do you even know what he really meant? Because you don't hear the vocal intonation, you don't know whether he was kidding or whether it was a joke or whatever." But so many young
It's
kids,
out there. They're sharing so much of this.
I
Everybody else.
know,
It's, God,
and
think how hard it is to be that age anyway, and then all that going on. I
I
wonder if the
worry.
people will get tougher, and just nothing will get to them, or if it'll be interesting to see what'll
Well,
happen.
you don't want to have a culture where that is so numb that
Yeah,
nothing gets to you.
I know.
You
But
don't have
what's your option if you're in that setting as a kid? You either not let things get to you, or you collapse usually at the, you know what I mean? There's just kind of that, or those are kind of your choices.
that.
You're that one spectrum or the other. And it's got to be hard to stay in that middle ground, I would think, I think though,
Yeah.
I would, I don't know how you change what people can say and what they can do. All you can do is work on
Well,
what you say and what you do. You know what I mean?
all you can do is do what we do and do the best you
Self-filter.
possibly
Yeah.
can. And
Yeah.
and if somebody has a beef because one of us is not Chinese or
Well,
black,
we've talked about this for
Hispanic,
our TV show, that how sellable is a show with two white chicks, right?
yeah,
Unfortunately, I think we have a lot to say, but do you add somebody to make it more diverse, just to add somebody to make it more diverse? Or do you have that natural chemistry with somebody? Like, I've been on so many shows where I had great chemistry with a guy or somebody of color or somebody with, and it just happens. And then that works together. And so you get credit for that. I don't know how you make this work, because I'm so much for diversity. I'm so much for including that. And I know you are too. And we want that, but does everything, where do you
well,
get?
I'll tell you, when there were cutbacks at the college at which I was teaching, a man said to me, "Well, they're not going to cut you back because you're a woman." And I was furious. And I
Yeah,
said, "Actually, they're not going to cut me back
because
because
I'm
I'm good
good.
at what I do."
Yeah, I get really annoyed by that.
I was very offended by that remark.
It's a really tough time, and I go way out of my way anyway to get everybody I can on my radio show, because I don't want all the same voice. It's so boring. You know what I mean? You want
Yeah,
people who are unique
yeah.
and different. So it's I go way beyond everything I can to make sure, but I really think it's important to be inclusive.